G'day there guys, Karen here. Back at it again with another episode of r/I Wanna Speak to Your Manager. And in today's episode of r/Entitled Parents, we're going to do a deep dive into the psychology of the Karen. So I want you to sit back, relax, chuck a prawn on the barbie, and enjoy today's bloody good content. Posted by user Gorguths, titled, Entitled Mother and Son Would Like to Trade Expensive Lightsaber Replica for a Much Cheaper One. This happened about a year or so ago in California's Disneyland, the Star Wars Galaxy Edge to be specific. It was basically my geeky dream to go there and get a Savvis Workshop lightsaber for my 14th birthday. I was eating at one of the quick bite restaurants there. It had only burritos and it was an open area with a moving statue in the middle. Entitled Mother looked to be in her 40s, Entitled Kid, me, Mum, Dad. Entitled Kid says, "Yo, cool lightsaber, check this one out." He shows me his lightsaber that he must have bought somewhere else. It was the plastic kind, not the one from Savvy's. But I'll admit it was still authentic and double-bladed, so I really loved it. We talked for a while. Seemed he was a hardcore Star Wars fan as well. Entitled Mum comes over and says, "Hey, Entitled Kid, come on, the order is ready. Would you mind us sitting at the unoccupied half of the table?" Dad says, "Sure, go ahead." I won't bore you, but a conversation ensues between our groups. They seem like really nice people, and eventually ask where we got the saber. We tell them, and eventually they finish their food and presumably head over to Savvy's. In a matter of time, they return. "Wow, no kidding, huh? Those things are expensive." Mum and Dad are like, "Yeah, for sure, but it's his birthday, so we made an exception." "Well, I saw you liked my saber, so I was wondering if we could trade." Honestly, I really considered it at first. It was cool and all, but I noticed the price difference and the value of the saber to me. And I say, "No thanks, but I think they have some good replicas at the shop adjacent to Savvy's if you want some." We get up and leave, and the Entitled Kid and Entitled Mum start insisting and practically shoving the thing in my face, that's what she said. Without wasting too much time, eventually the trail is to the other end of the park, and the start of the line for the Millennium Falcon ride. So a cast member gets involved, and the Entitled Mother starts bringing up excuses and asking to see the rules of the park. She insists on trading, but the cast member draws her away, and I enjoy the rest of the day. The end. Posted by user Diameter of Pies, titled, Mum Can't Wait in Line for Her Food. The details are a bit shaky, as this happened when I was 11 years old. So me and my parents were at a hotel which had an open buffet for breakfast. There were an area where you could tell a chef what type of eggs you want and what toppings. There were only 4 people in line, an elderly woman at the front, the mum and her child in the middle, and me at the end. The chef was making the elderly woman's eggs when the mum says, "My son wants egg type." And the chef said, "Wait ma'am, I'm busy." The mum scoffs. When the chef finishes the egg, the mum goes, "Can you listen to me now? My son is really hungry." Then faces her child and says, "He acted as if you didn't exist, right?" And the son says, "Yeah, right." Mum in a sarcastic tone says, "You don't exist, right?" "Yeah." The chef asked her how she would like her egg. "He will have the scrambled eggs." The chef then cracks 2 eggs in. "Oh, that's too much for my son. Throw the egg away." "You asked for 2 eggs. Yeah, but that's too much for my son. That would be a waste of eggs. Just throw it." The chef throws the eggs in the bin and makes her a new one. She then took the egg and went looking annoyed. I then told the chef what I want and smiled at him while he was making it and said thanks at the end. Very nice, OP. You're an angel. Posted by user Mandicapped, titled, My Entitled Mum Keeps Asking Why I Won't Dye Her Hair. So back in the day, like 10 to 12 years ago, I used to dye my mum's hair for her after she went all grey, but I got tired of doing it because she was very whiny and demanding about it. I had or have kids and work full time, so I didn't always have the time or energy, and she would whine that she wanted me to do hers, but finally I refused to do it anymore. Occasionally, I would dye my own hair, and she'll ask why I will dye my own hair, but not hers. Mind you, she never did mine, and this annoys me A, because of the entitlement, and B, because I learned a long time ago from her parenting, if I wanted something that I had to do it myself. So why am I obligated to do hers? Well, after a while, I got tired of maintaining my own hair color, so I've just been sticking with my normal hair color. Well, this year, since my 12-year-old's birthday, like so many this year, was in quarantine, I decided to get her a bunch of manic panic and dye her hair different colors. Well, her last color is starting to fade, so I was telling her to extra shampoo so we can do the next color, cotton candy pink or hot pink. And my mum asked again when I was going to dye hers. I say I'm not. But why? So I told her again, it's because she harasses me about doing it all the time. When I do my daughter's hair, she might ask if I would do it soon, but she's usually pretty chill and will wait patiently until I feel like doing it. This is just one of many things she expects me to do for her instead of doing it for herself. Posted by user TPABARayRays, titled, Entitled Grandma Lets Toddler Walk Across Our Property and Jump into Our Pool. I posted this story a couple weeks ago to another similar sub, but I decided to post it here because it works better here. Obligatory on mobile. This was like 2 years ago, middle of the summer in Florida. All ages were at the time of the story. My 17 male brother, 13 male, had a bunch of good neighborhood friends over, ranging from 9 to 14 in age, mostly rowdy guys. They were swimming in our pool behind our house. The pool is maybe 6 foot from the house on 2 sides of it and is screened in. Since these aren't my friends, I was just vibing on the couch inside, but I could see the whole thing go down from where I was sitting. I also should note I live in a small middle-class subdivision and pretty much everyone has a pool. So, a grandma, in her 60s, we'll call her EG, from down the street had her grandson, 3-ish, aka entitled kid, out on a walk. The kid heard my brother's friends and decided to check it out. Entitled grandma decides to let him walk all the way back there across our property. My mum, 50 female, was back there getting everyone's towels and stuff. Entitled grandma opens our screen door for entitled kid, and he goes running in and jumps. My mum saw it and caught him before he could touch the water. Mind you, he's not in appropriate swimwear. She then tells entitled grandma that he can't go in the pool and please get off our property. Entitled grandma asks why he can't swim with the other kids, and my mum explains it's because the kids are 9 to 14 and her kid is 3, so it can be a bit dangerous. Also, it's her property and she said so. Entitled grandma was not having it and told the kid to jump in. My mum blocked him and they finally left grudgingly. Posted by user Dank Dino, titled, Mum makes her kid babysit for 15 hours a day. I have a friend who babysits this apparently super annoying child who likes to make everything super difficult to handle. E.g., one time I was talking to her and she sent me a video, and then this kid just started trying to drink conditioner. I think it was conditioner. So basically, her mum makes her take care of this child every day from like 8:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. This work is unpaid, by the way. This kid isn't even related to the family, and by what I've heard is that the mum works and the stepdad is busy most days, so they send the kid over to my friend's house. They don't pay her mum or my friend, which I find kinda insane for them and her mum to expect my friend to take care of some random kid for 465 hours a month. My friend is 15, by the way. Edits, and another kid is being sent over. What the hell? Yeah, I definitely think something needs to be done about that situation. That's not healthy, and I would recommend sorting that out ASAP, maybe even call CPS. This seems like a CPS issue. Posted by user The Salty Lime, titled, My girlfriend's entitled mother is ticked at her for deleting a tracking app she let the entitled mother use. I am posting this for her since her account doesn't meet the karma requirement. I am a truck driver and my mother has been envious of me ever since I started training. She wanted to be a truck driver her whole life, and my occupation has enabled her to live vicariously through me. I was never necessarily fond of this, but she's my mother, so I let it go. When I finished training and started driving, I downloaded a family tracking app on my phone so my boyfriend, who would join me on the road a little later on, could see where I was and help direct me to a nearby truck stops. The GPS in my truck doesn't let me change where I'm going while driving. I offered to share my location via the app with my mother since she is so passionate about truck driving and it would give her a chance to experience it just a little bit. She took this as an opportunity to attempt to run my life for me. She would often get paranoid from watching videos of trucking accidents and constantly blew up my phone, which I'm not allowed to check while driving, warning me of various places and things to look out for. Other people might be grateful of this constant advice giving, but to me it was just annoying. She also went completely ballistic whenever the app was disabled due to low/dead battery and would blow up at me and my boyfriend's phone in a panic, demanding to know where I am and if I'm safe. While I do appreciate the fact that she cares about me, having to deal with this for a month straight started to take its toll on me and my job. I got the chance to visit my sister who knows of my mother's bipolar actions and warned me to delete the app before she takes things too far. I took her advice and deleted the app after letting my boyfriend know what was going on. I gave my mum a call and let her know that I no longer wanted to use the app and deleted it. This sent her into a rage and she started berating me and my sister, who she knew I visited with earlier. I ignored her tantrum and gave her the cold shoulder for a month to let her cool down. Her birthday came around the corner, and I sent her a well-meaning message wishing her a happy birthday. She responds to said message complaining about how me and my sister were planning a special event for my father. They're divorced, and he's way better to me and my sister, but not her. Keep in mind, my father and sister live in Texas, and my mum is all the way in California, so it's difficult to arrange anything for her given how far away she is. Edit, Entitled Mother just called me. I thought for a second that it was about this post, but she was just asking how things are. I told her girlfriend was asleep, but she was sitting right next to me listening to everything. Entitled Mother talked about how much her feelings were hurt when the app was deleted and asked me to try and persuade her into reinstalling it. I was nice about it, was super vague like, I'll be sure to ask her at some point. I noticed during the call that Entitled Mother would keep dropping subtle hints about how she wants girlfriend to change, and if you weren't riding with her, I would quit my job and go on the road with her just to keep her safe. Ooh. Posted by user, it's SollyBoyXD, titled, My daughter deserves her own private video call with her best friend. Mobile formatting, yada yada. Warning, not as extreme as other posts, but still infuriating. Caster, me or OP, Magical Emu, my mum, my sister's friend, and the Entitled Mother, the Eggnog Man, or woman, I guess. So Elle celebrated her 10th birthday in lockdown, and she had a video call with a group of close friends. For some backstory, she had changed school since the one she used to go to, and so did I, but many years before her, was a crap school with bullies and lazy teachers around every corner. So she didn't have as much contact with her close friends as possible, and therefore was more upset when she couldn't see them on her birthday. They were all in a private group chat, so she put the link to the Zoom link on that group. She also included a message that she had a call with her family after it. So if you didn't join that call, then you couldn't have your own private call, though she hoped they'd all be able to make it. Elle also mentioned that she couldn't do it in the week either, as our school has been swamping us with work, so we barely have any free time. One of my sister's friends, Kay, who was probably the least close to her friend out of that group, has a tendency not to check messages. So Elle made sure she got the message, by privately messaging her, emailing her, and any other medium that she had access to. Despite these efforts, she didn't get the message and missed out on the call. A couple of days later, we get a call from Entitled Mother, which I pick up as my mum is out, that goes as such. Hello? Hi OP, it's Entitled Mother, can I speak to M? Oh, sorry, M's out. Would you like me to leave a message? Could you tell her that I was wondering when Kay's private call with Elle is, as she's been waiting for a while now and has been very patient. Oh, I'm sorry, but my sister cannot have a call with Kay as she and I are both swamped with work at the moment, and we don't get that much free time. I doubt that Elle has said that, you were just speaking for her. I'll get her on now if you want, she's on a short break. Fine. I brought the phone over to Elle, who was browsing TikTok, on her phone. And she says, "Hi, entitled mother. I really would like to speak to Kay, but I have very few breaks and I would like to spend them reading my book or browsing on my phone. Bye." So I say to the entitled mother, "Is that enough for you?" "Ah, she doesn't know what she's saying. Elle and Kay are BFFs." I say, "Whilst they're close, Elle has told me multiple times that blank is her best friend." "How dare you? My little girl is crying because of what you just said." She handed the phone over to SEK, and SEK muttered, What am I doing?" And entitled mother in a shouty whisper says, "Cry!" "Oh, insert bad fake crying here." At this point, I could barely contain myself and had to hold my breath to stop myself from laughing. I couldn't. And entitled mother says, "What's so funny, you brat?" So I'm just like, "Bye, entitled mother." I swear she had started saying, "That's right, walk away, bear," before I hung up. My mum later got a message saying that I had yelled obscenities at entitled mother and kid. I told Em about it, and we just laughed it off and didn't stoop to entitled mother's level. I honestly feel sorry for Kay being stuck with a parent like that and being forced to play along. Elle did end up speaking to Kay, but only a couple of weeks later once the half-term holidays had begun. Posted by user DRB097, titled, "My mother kicked me and my fiancé out of their house because I brought her McDonald's. Yesterday, I, 22 male, and my fiancé, 24 female, were in North Carolina to visit my parents and spend time with them, and celebrate my fiancé's birthday. Everything was okay Saturday and Sunday, but crap hit the fan on Monday. My fiancé had to work a 5 to 2 shift on what would be today, and we were trying to see if we should leave at 4 or wait until after dinner. I said to wait until after dinner, but my parents never asked us what we would like or if she would like what they were making. They made sausage and shrimp skewers. My fiancé doesn't care much for seafood, and my parents already know that because I told them. My fiancé asks me if I could get some food for her and get gas for the car. She said she didn't like what they made and she didn't want to take food from me, given that my parents don't make enough for everyone. So I went and got gas and the food and brought it back. My dad saw the bag and straight up told us to get the frick out of his house and that we are liars. They said that we were texting under the table when in reality we were texting different friends at the time. My mum went to see what happened, instantly went to speak to my dad, then confronted us, saying that we're liars and sneaky and don't appreciate what they do for us, and told me the reason why I'm so skinny is because my fiancé eats all the food. They've done next to nothing for us. Me and my fiancé have been together for nearly 2 years, and they've never taken interest to get to know her or figure out what types of food she likes, so that way we can all eat the same thing together. We left, and about an hour into the drive, my mother posts a long rant saying that we should see things from their side, that we're both liars, and admit facts, and that we should push our wedding back in September because it's an inconvenience to them. I contemplated revoking their invite, but my fiancé said we should go ahead with what the plan is and show them how happy we are at our wedding as the ultimate screw you to them. Though I am still considering paying off my debts to them and then cutting them out of our lives. Edits clarified that my parents accused me of lying a bit and some grammar and spelling. Posted by user ShadowFang84, titled, "I shouldn't get my badge since I was too young." Backstory. Really was an extrovert as a kid, so I took Boy Scouts. This was before Girl Scouts can join Boy Scouts. I was really good at it, so I continued to work hard, and when I was 13, I took a first aid merit badge. So I did my thing and got the pre-badge requirements done, so I was pumped to do it. Let's meet our cast for today. OP is me, EP, the entitled counselor who was biased against me, SM, the Scout Master, and K is entitled parent's kid. Story. So I got all my prereqs done, and I was super hyped to do the badge along with others. So I showed my understanding of the badge, and even the older scouts there were impressed. So when entitled parent needed help, I gave it to her, not knowing the results. So I was helping a kid out, and entitled parent pulled me aside to only tell me this. "Look mate, you need to grow up a bit before you can have the badge. Look at my son. He 100% knows what he's doing and deserves a first class. I was a tenderfoot at the time. So I tried to calmly explain to her that I obviously knew what I was talking about for the badge, and I proved that I have all the prereqs. So this went back and forth like a tug-of-war, but tug-of-war quickly escalated into war. An entitled parent said, even if you have the requirements, you are just a stupid kid and don't know anything, or something along the lines of that. And I say, well, clearly you're dumber than me if you need me to explain the material, you dumb a-hole. You need to learn to respect your elders. Well, most elders are smart. Clearly, you are a rock. She actually grabbed me and pushed me out of the door to the first aid training, and I say, get your grimy, wrinkly, filthy hands off of me, you expletive. After that, I got the head leader of the camp. She reluctantly gave me my blue card. Blue cards show that you got the actual badge fair and square. Final day rolls around, and I get my envelope with all my blue cards. I had them all with flying colors, except for one. Hi, welcome back to Insert Game Show here, and let's see our questions. For $500, what badge was missing from the envelope? Was it A, fishing, B, first aid, or C, leatherworking? If you guessed B, ding-ding-ding-ding, you would be correct. Well, it wasn't missing, it was shredded up and a piece of white paper that said, grow up. I was furious. I grabbed my scoutmaster, dragged him along to the first aid site and let her get a piece of my mind. She denied it left and right, and even had the audacity to say, why would it be little old me? Ma'am, we know it was you. We have cameras for YPT, but they catch everything. Slowly, the color drained from her face. I never knew about these cameras, but better late than never. I had to prove to the council that I did understand the material in the end, but I aced that. Thankfully, entitled parent got fired on the spot, and I got the badge after all. Edit. Forgot to mention it, but her son came in also to report her to the police afterwards, so he was cool. Thanks, son. Nice. Posted by user Sweet Baguette. Titled, Entitled Mother Tried to Yell at Me because she crashed her nice car into my old car. This is before quarantine. So I'm 15 and I have a driver's permit, and my friend, 18, has her driver's license, so she was in the passenger's seat. So basically, I was just driving to a Jack in the Box or Tim Hortons, whichever one was closer, and we stopped at a red light, and as it changed to green, I went and this lady rams into my side door in the back, and thankfully none of us were harmed. Anyway, we quickly got out of there as we grabbed our wallets, phones, the important stuff afterwards, you know. Anyway, I started to panic as I'm crying at this point, and this is where entitled mother pops in. What the frick did you just do to my perfect car? I couldn't speak as my friend stepped in. You ran a red light, you idiot. Were you driving? No, but I saw everything. It was you driving, looking at me. I managed to nod as she said, you are too young to drive. She laughed slightly as she thought she was going to throw one minor and a new adult in jail and get money from it. Basically, entitled mother crossed her arms and waited for the police as we traded insurance cards. The police come and assess the situation as they question entitled mother first. Those two were drunk driving and almost killed me and my baby boy. She had what seems to be an 8-year-old child, which seemed perfectly fine, as the police talked to him, as people checked all of us for any damage. She says, my baby boy is scared and this just ruined life for him. The police just nodded and went to us. I was still crying. This makes me seem like I'm a baby, but I have autism, which makes me scared of confrontation and yelling, and most definitely anything bad. And so basically, the police questioned us as we explained the situation and showed them our driver's licenses and IDs. The police were extremely nice to me as I had a card explaining my autism, and they just generally helped me calm down. Anyway, the police saw cameras for a store outside, which caught everything, as they checked the traffic cameras and the store cameras. Entitled mother smirked like a demon, as she thought she would get away with this, and the police came back saying they watched the footage and the color drained out of her face as she kept changing her story to get out of the situation, as she said, "My boy needs to go to football practice. If he's late, he'll be kicked off the team and it's gonna be your fault," while yelling at the officer. And then 10 seconds later she said, "My mum is in the hospital and I need to see her before she dies." And then, "My baby boy needs to go to the doctors for shots," etc. So basically, in the end, she was in a police cruiser and I was taken to Tim Hortons in an Uber with my friend and back to my home. I did press charges as there were so many witnesses, as in court she broke down saying, "I need to feed my kids," while she had like Gucci and Louis Vuitton. I was able to fix my car and I never ran into her again. Also, I got most of the stories because I live in an entitled neighborhood where it is the buzzbox for all entitled people. People have messaged me on my first and second post on this subreddit saying that I made the stories up. You can think that, but just to let you know, I do live in an expensive neighborhood where people think that they're better than others. Another Reddit, I've got my learner's permit, not my driver's license. Driver's permit is where you have to have someone with their license in the car with you as you drive. Alright, and I think that's where we're going to leave today's episode, guys. I really do hope you enjoyed the content today. If you guys loved watching it as much as I loved making it, I would love for you to subscribe to the channel already if you haven't. Tell me what you thought of it down in the comments below, maybe like the video, who knows. I'd also like to take this time to thank my awesome Patreon and channel members. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd do. I'd probably be homeless on the streets of Ireland, crying Irish dancing all over town. It would just be a mess. But no, for real, you guys are up on the screen now. Thank each and every one of you guys. And if you personally want to join the club yourself, there are links down in the description below. There's also the join button next to the subscribe button. Small monthly fee, but hey, it goes a long way to help me create more awesome content. Well, with that said, guys, I hope you do have a lovely day, night, sleep, evening, day at work, day at school, whatever you're up to. I hope you keep awesome today. You're looking amazing, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.